You know, I like to open our planning meetings when we get together to discuss what's coming with a sampling of all the worst sounds of the 90s.
Well, I can't snort cocaine anymore without club music in the background.
Say that again.
I said I can't snort cocaine anymore without club music in the background.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah, but that's because I have to stop doing that.
Right.
My cholesterol is just awful.
Nicole said I had to stop doing it because you guys need my organs for green meat.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably should have warned you when we hired you. The youngest pre-Ronin employee does have to serve as the organ bank for everyone else.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry for your luck, but you do seem healthy.
I mean, I was the youngest for a while, so I've earned that kidney.
That's
Right.
And it's the one on the right.
Specifically.
Yeah.
That's my favorite kidney.
Yeah, my favorite too.
You know, I was going to try to be all cute and be like, yes, this is a meeting. We don't know anything about what's going on with the chat, but I can't do it because everybody's being so fun and so,
You have
you
no
know,
poker face, Troy. No.
I have no face at all except for
No, we really
that
don't.
bot image. It's so great. We do have to figure out what the acronym is.
Right.
Okay, you can hear this is where I went off the rails. I was like, what are these other sound effects? Pew, 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 pew. But, yeah, we have to figure out what that is.
Totally
Yeah.
rad out-of-body youth.
Okay, sold. Speaking of totally rad, this music ain't it. But you know who is totally rad? Y'all. Hey, let me get rid of this. It's you, friends. It is Mutants and Masterminds Monday, and today we're planning some good stuff. It was sort of our, you know, hey, we got to plan some stuff. Should we plan some stuff? And then, you know, so yeah, here we are planning some stuff. And so the reason why I think it's great that we're doing it like this is that we, with your feedback, can, you know, you get to kind of help chart the course of things. Now, you know, some ground rules. You know, you may not get everything that you want,
Yeah.
or even that you need, but you'll like it. We, you know, and also this is really, you know, we're looking at we're looking at a world of possibilities. So we may say something that's super amazing and super incredible, but it is just too incredible. Like we can't have it be too incredible, as they say. Yeah, that's. Sean Vieira says, love today. Look at this. Sean Vieira says, love today's topic. And then Sean Duggan says, yay, planning.
The Sean's love planning.
Yeah.
They
when the
really
Seans-
do.
When the Seans are in a court, are we in trouble?
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
they're
think what we need to do is just have the Seans work out our schedule for us.
you know they do.
know,
You know they do.
Every couple of months, we come up with basically the schedule for the next few months of Mutants and Masterminds Mondays. And so we ran through our previous schedule like a month ago, and all of us keep having things crop up, so we can't sit down at one time across our 3 different time zones.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And we're all busy both, you know, with work and then outside of work, and then, you know, and what is work and what doesn't work. It's all
Right.
But I want to say hello real quick to Babidi. Babidi, am I saying that right, friend? It says, I'm pumped to see this. I've yet to see a game of M&M, and I've always wanted to try it or at least see it played. You have come to the right place. You get to hang out with us and at the sort of the epicenter, and then you're out over on YouTube, so you get to check out some of the actual plays that we've been putting out there, and they're a ton of fun. So I encourage that. But welcome.
Right. This is a great opportunity for, you know, plugging the historic Mutants and Masterminds actual play folks get to see tonight.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be nuts. We have the finale for Netherworld tonight.
Now, you've been
7
doing that.
p.m. EST.
You know, I've been a bad host because I was so excited by all the commentary. I want to say, welcome to Crystal, Steve, Alex, and I, of course, am your disembodied Troy, and we get together every Monday at this time in this place. I mean, nearly every Monday, and we've been doing this for about 17 years. So,
Give or take.
yeah, give or take. But we are really we enjoy this a great deal. And so if you're watching for the first time, say, hey, if you've got a question, say, yeah, I've got a question. And we will endeavor to either answer it or pretend like we did not see it. Yeah, that's my favorite part. But yes, Squire, you are correct. We need a pre-planning meeting to plan y'all's planning meeting so you can lay out a plan. If only that weren't, that's a little too close to true.
Yeah.
So normally we do this behind the scenes, but we thought for some reason maybe people would like to see us plan. Plus, this way we can get feedback from fans and put some M&M Monday topics on the schedule that fans have been asking for, and make sure we get it right this time.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have a topic you have been dying for us to cover, now is your chance to tell us what it is.
True that. And one thing before we dive in, I've got something to share. We have launched Into the Idiot Box on Roll20. It's live just mere moments ago. I got the heads up from Apook that he has pulled all the requisite levers and dialed in all the dials and pushed the buttons, and it is live. And you will get that link for those of you who are watching this on demand. You will see that link is in the chat, but you'll head over to the Roll20, our marketplace on Roll20, and you pick that up, plus plenty of other stuff, like some really good things over there. You're gonna want to do that post haste, as they say. So we'll get things rolling over there on Roll20. We've got a few other releases, I believe, that we're going to have. I know people are always asking what's coming next, but I will tell you that we, on Roll20, we will have I believe, is it, Apook, you're going to have to correct me, but is it library? No, it's not library. It's, one second while I look that up. It is the,
We just released theater. Science Center, maybe?
Let's see.
Aquarium.
Release schedule.
Aquarium, that's it. Thank you.
Yet, so.
I love an aquarium, by the way. I really do. Aquariums are fun. Thank you, Apook.
On the VT.
That's for Roll20. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's for release on. It'll be on Roll20. Yeah, that's our Roll20 minute.
I was sitting here trying to figure out when Starcrossed is going to be released, because the files are done, man.
Right.
So our next astonishing adventure is in the can and ready to be released. It's another Hero High adventure, but sadly, I don't think anybody likes Hero High adventures, so we're just going to gloss over this one as quickly as possible.
Careful now. There's a rabid fan base for the Hero stuff.
Right.
I mean, absolutely. Other things that are cooking too while we're talking about it is, the Patreon's hopping with all kinds of good stuff. We've got something coming up on the 12th.
Saturday.
That's this Saturday. And Cloud, no, we love Hero High. We know. We know. But so we but as part of our planning, we had put together 3 actual plays. And the first one was Crystal, and then there was Steve, and then Alex is next up. And you've got something kind of cool planned. Do you want to give hum a couple bars of it?
Yeah, sure. So we are going to be playing something I'm tentatively calling Secrets of the Source Book. It's going to be a high PL adventure, PL 14, 240 points, where a whole bunch of heroes are going to go investigate what happened to a couple of blank pages of the source book that have fallen into the hands of 2 of the Terminus's top dogs. So it's going to be bad news. I'm working up a PL 18 Omega build to smack them around, so come have fun.
That doesn't potentially threaten all of reality as we know it.
Right. Hey,
The worst that could happen.
I don't want to.
There's a disclaimer I'm handing out to the players that says some of you may die, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah, I think you're going to give them a little bit of a different vibe, maybe than there. A quick question. So you talked about Daedalus and something about armor. Um,
Yeah. It's not really original, but I came up with a Hulkbuster for Daedalus called the Alpha Suit because it's made for fighting Omega and Alpha and Omega.
Love it. Love it.
Dang,
Love
how
it.
good
Love
that
it.
is.
Squire asks, in game or real life? Well,
Oh,
you know
don't
when
worry. The M&M snipers are only aimed at my house. You'll be okay.
If you die in Mutants and Masterminds, you die in real life.
Real life.
You do indeed. So, that's why this is a very serious business, and we are very seriously, professional broadcasters to bring this to you. And yeah, Jonesy says, yeah. So I'm just saying, Alex, he's got an intensity about his GMing.
There's going to be a lot of red in my ledger this week.
Yeah. Well, you got, that's how else are you going to live? Like, I mean, you need
Yeah.
that energy to continue.
Tonight's Netherwar finale, I'm going with the Power Rangers ending, where all of the Master Mages got smashed up, and we're going to fight Triune 1-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm with
Little-
Aura.
little
That
mecha
sounds
master mage.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Little that is awesome. So you hear Dr. Corgi back there, and Dr. Corgi is telling us, get to planning. We never do this
Right.
without
Always
Dr.
cracking the
Corgi's
whip.
right. Yeah, just keeping
Mhm.
us on task. And I appreciate that. That's why we all work for Dr. Corgi. Oh, I wasn't supposed to admit that. Anyway, so let's okay, so we've got I'm pulling open my calendar. We have got, so there's already a suggestion on the field, and it is
Mhm.
one that we talk about all the time. We literally at every single planning meeting we say, let's get some artists on. But yeah, I mean,
You do.
I can really dive into that. One of the challenges is that we just need to coordinate logistics, and it's tough sometimes to ask artists to say, "Hey, come in for free and hang out for an hour to talk about your stuff." But they always enjoy it. Who would you want us to talk? Who should we invite on? Do we have a particular artist that comes to mind that would be well suited to a Mutants and Masterminds Monday appearance?
Well, I mean, at this point, 80% of our art is drawn by either Dennis Medri or Alberto Foch. And
Right.
I know Dennis is in Italy, and that's about 12 hours ahead of us. So
right.
if he's happy to come on at 2 a.m.
Right.
time,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know where Alberto lives.
Yeah. Alberto is, both of them are phenomenal. So maybe I will then, hang on as I pull open
Right.
the month.
I
Maybe
think
I'll
the
reach out
other
to both of
thing-
them and see if they're available.
When it comes to artists is also what we're going to talk about. If folks are interested in talking about the art process, like how do we put together an art order
Yeah.
and hand it off to artists and work with them to get finalized and finished art, we can talk a little bit about that process. Maybe even show off some stages of the art process, some of the initial sketches we get versus final stuff. But one of the other, and Apuk brings it up, one of the other things we talked about in terms of art was also having a cartographer on to talk about map design.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that sounds like two great episodes that we can kind of plug in here. Given the lead time for getting those folks in place, do we want to look at doing that, say, end of March, maybe April?
Ish? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it could be cool to line it up with the Danger Zones release.
for the cartographer. Yeah.
Yeah, since there's a bunch of maps in that.
Yeah. For the artist, it really depends on when they're available.
Truth, yeah, absolutely. They'll want, it's that classic game. One of the things, folks, that is, there are a lot of things you would imagine that would be just really difficult when it comes to sort of doing the thing that you do. Working in your discipline, whether that's art or layout or editing. But the most challenging thing is scheduling a meeting that everyone can come to.
It's true.
It's really a tough thing. So, how about this? I'm going to put in for probably I'll aim for the 4th of April. And that was how do you pronounce it's Foch?
Foch or Foche.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said it because one of those names that I just have always read, and we just have never. And then the other artist's name was
Dennis Medry.
Medry. Yeah. All right, so we'll see about them and their availability somewhere in the April timeframe, and then do we want to? I love the map making cartography process, and we had talked about reaching out to a couple of those folks. Do we have somebody maybe that we want to sort of ask first?
Well, Sean McDonald does almost all of our maps, and I do the rest.
That's right, you do. Yeah, exactly.
Because I ruin things for everybody else.
Because you're so good at them. That's really, yeah. I mean, that is sort of a
Crystal does a lot of artwork. She does a lot of the layout and the editing and the developing.
Yeah, there was a comment about bringing on the Mutants Masterminds art director as well, and I'm like, oh,
that would also be Crystal.
That would also be Crystal. Claude, yes, absolutely correct. We, tabletop roleplay would be nothing if not for the car photographers. It's just it's a big part of what keeps us moving.
Yeah, without car photography, I mean, that is basically how every artist ends up drawing fantasy art.
That's right. Yeah. It all happens in the backseat.
Sure.
Let's see here. Aura says, I'd love to see some work in progress and such, and the map design is useful for everyone making home games. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Real practical sort of stuff and talking about, when you're creating a map to a certain scale, what are things you have to kind of think about? And okay, great. So how about, go ahead, Crystal.
Oh, no, just that's a thought. I've done panels on map design and because I also do map design for Paizo as well.
So I'm putting down map design with Crystal. And I want to save that focus for, we can debate this, but I think that given how much good and interesting and sort of hands-on info you can share, I would like that to be just a focus on you, and then bring a cartographer in for another show.
Okay. Yeah. I can do that.
Awesome. Do you want to do that like, should we, I'm looking in April for some reason. Do we want to move that a little closer to today?
I'm fine with that. We're about to send Danger Zones off to print probably next week. So
should that be Monday then?
Yeah.
Sure.
Good time.
Nice.
Does everybody want to talk about maps next Monday?
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I am definitely down for it.
I can share my screen and we can put together like how you make a map.
I love it.
That's going to be graph paper.
I have graph paper on my computer.
Oh, I love graph paper. I made so many maps when I was younger, like just so much graph paper.
Yeah. The maps are how I got into gaming.
Really? That's awesome.
I love the little maps. I love them so.
I do too. They just kind of scratch an itch that is really hard to describe,
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So next week then, okay, we got that. So that's maps.
Maps.
Oh,
Bodie, like I love you. Maps. Okay.
I can even show you, if you have Photoshop, I can show you some really quick tricks for making your home maps look like
nice.
Good.
That is awesome.
Tricks
okay.
Of the trade.
See, I mean, only here.
You're penciling that in for me.
Right. I was gonna say, like, there are gonna be some people who are doing this for a living that are gonna be like, what?
Hey, David, I wanted to say that I am also a huge fan of the Freedom City map. We really majorly lucked out on that one. Philip Leno, who did the design on that, is an actual, honest to God's architect and urban planner. and did the map, or at least initially did the initial draft of that map for fun, because he just enjoyed playing around with map making for an imaginary city, and basically taking all of my weird things that I included in Freedom City and somehow making them work from an urban planning perspective.
So great, because we talked about this in the past, and one of the things I love about it is that you really were in love with that. I mean, you're in love with that map.
Oh,
Like it just was
yeah, it's so good.
yeah, and you just sort of your thoughts realized in that space, and kind of put together by this person who knows their stuff. It's beautiful. It's really a really great piece of art.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, awesome. So we've got, let's see, I've got, so the 14th is going to be designing maps with Crystal.
Mhm.
What do we want to do for the 21st and then the 28th? I don't
So
see
one
any
thing I was thinking about
holidays.
coming up, do we want, now that Sentinels of Earth Prime is shipping out to
Oh,
folks,
yeah.
do
Ah,
we want to do a walkthrough of the game and talk about a little bit about
sure. Why
that?
not? Why
I
not?
think that's a
Never
great
played a
idea.
Sentinels game, so
Me
Right?
either. So do you want to do that on the 21st? That'll give us time. If we bump that to the 28th, that'll give us some time to get the
Might actually give
decks.
us time to get copies,
Yeah,
maybe.
right. Yeah.
maybe we should push that to the 11th just to be safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe we should. I agree. Oh gosh, right. Given just sort of shipping and all of that.
Yeah.
right.
So
Things
then
being
would
what it
we?
is.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so then we will do Sentinels of Earth Prime play.
I'm so excited to get our copy of that.
Oh, me
Yeah.
too. All right, so I've got that down as April 11th. Okay, perfect. That leaves us with the 21st and the 28th for March, and then the
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
the 18th
I-
is. I don't know why as a holiday they have it down in my calendar as Easter Monday. Is that a thing?
Easter is Easter Monday a thing?
It's not a thing my Catholic mom ever made me
Not-
do.
right? I
that
mean,
I
yeah.
know
I mean, I
of,
know I'm always
but-
hungover from all the,
Yeah, all the deviled eggs.
All the Jesus blood.
all the Jesus blood. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Oh, we're gonna get the Pope coming after us again.
Not
Right.
again. How many?
Last time I got lippy, he called me more dangerous than nuclear weapons. So
That's right. You got a little papal pillory. Yeah, but oh, that's right. Our cousins, I'll say, over at
Mhm.
Banff. They're very, very good to us. But yeah, they showed. Yeah, they
Nice.
they are beautiful. They're really great.
Yeah, Jacob was doing an unboxing video of the set. Looks really good.
Okay, great. Calvin says, got my copy. Love the art, but I've no one to play with. So you should join us on stream, Calvin. Yeah, David Bodie's drunk on peeps.
yes.
Put those abominations in the microwave where they belong.
Put those abominations into me where they
Yeah, I was
belong.
going to say, if you melt them, you can eat a lot more of them all at once. Good plan, Troy.
Oh,
With a straw.
great. Ugh,
Ah,
they're so disgusting.
Oh,
My
no,
mother
they
gets them
should
for
not
me.
be.
Seltzer water. They make a soda.
They
Yuck.
make a peep soda.
That is so.
Wow.
My hands are shaking.
Oh, is it
just
really?
thinking about
Is this true? I mean, I'm a heathen and also a workaday kind of person, so these fancy holidays were never mine.
No, we're not familiar with days off in the games industry, so that's
No,
probably
yeah,
why.
yeah.
No, all those days we take off from the actual podcast, or is this isn't a podcast?
We'll call it a podcast
The
stream.
blog, the stream.
Yeah.
We're actually just like frantically putting books together,
That is really true.
or writing, or rolling dice, but for complex work-related reasons that aren't as much fun as rolling dice with your friends.
That's right. Yeah, and this is just. I mean, this is too far. One peep too far. Birthday cake peeps.
Yes,
Wow.
That sounds
That sounds awesome.
revolting.
I mean, I can do worse. My wife fed me a durian macaron over the weekend. And You've ever had durian, but it just climbs up into your mucous membranes and
Oh, it
lives there for
hangs
like
out there.
an hour, and then
I
everything you taste for the next hour tastes like things I won't describe, on a live broadcast for an all-age
so
audience.
I have likened it to a tire fire that somebody started with gasoline but put out with cat urine.
Wow,
That's
And
lyrical.
left it all that creamy.
that's my favorite Fall Out Boy song.
Right?
Yeah, I done a lot of travel, and I came back from Korea or China actually, and brought back durian flavored candy. But nobody could read Chinese; they didn't know, and so everyone it was a office of like 200 people, and I got a good 150 of them. So yeah.
Oh,
Never accept
Wow.
treats from Troy is the message.
Right.
You know, it's the only time I ever pulled a trick on them, but
I've just got
they
whatever gene it is that makes durian like extra disgusting.
yeah. Well, the other thing too is that it is not only tastes bad, but when it falls out of a tree, it can kill you. It's huge, it's massive, and it's got spikes. It's not it's they call it the king of fruit, but it's really like it's the devil. Yeah, the devil in a fruit.
Somebody ate that as a vengeance killing. They're like,
Oh
"You
yeah,
killed
they
my
banned it
cousin."
on buses and things. Like they do not let you eat it on the bus, or it's nasty. Okay, so this is
Anyway.
this is very, very much similar to what we do.
Yeah,
I
this
have
is
an
actually
idea.
how our meetings go, by the way.
I have an M&M Monday idea.
Okay, yeah. You
Right.
got a list, don't you?
I did. I sent a list over before we got on.
I love it.
I had the chance to read that.
Well, one of my ideas is improv night, where we build an adventure on stream based on prompts submitted by the chat in real time.
Love it. Now, so we talked. So here's one of the things that we've always wanted to do something a little more extemporaneous and driven by the chat. But one of the challenges that we've got is that it is a delay, and so the structure of the show. I'm wondering if we could do something where we precede or we share some prompts or something, and we get people to come with those sort of locked and loaded.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Share them share them to the Patreon beforehand, where only Troy can see them, and the three of us don't look for the
That's right.
preceding days.
I love it.
Right.
Okay, so Alex, what would you call that as a title? Help me word. Give me some verbiage.
I just called it improv night in my notes.
Adventure improv.
I put improve. That'll be a different night, but we do need that one as well.
Right, let's do that the 21st then?
Thinking the 21st. Yeah, does that sound good?
All right.
And then this is going to be creating a what?
Adventure.
An adventure. Creating an adventure
Mhm.
with prompts from the community. And so what we'll do, we'll do that, Crystal, and then we'll also make sure that we'll leave some time in during the actual stream so that people can have some fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, Bodhi just had an amazing idea.
Let's see.
Christmas adventure calendar.
You know what is so funny? One of the things I was really looking forward to is having to be able to say, like, I don't mean to say like, oh, we did this or we talked about this, but I talked the heck out of this. We really wanted to do something like that for a 4-hour whole product line. Just have an advent calendar where you open it up and there's something inside and all that. But things as it were just couldn't. Yeah, adventure calendar. I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm putting it in the Superman sticky notes.
Yeah, it's in my not so super brain sticky.
That would be a great
Notes?
Patreon reward next year.
Oh, yeah, it
Right.
really would. Absolutely. Well,
And if
could
we
we
break it up across the three of us, it's only 8 adventure pitches each.
Yeah.
So that would be amazing. So then the Advent thing is the actual adventure, and you get like, are we doing it like Advent, like get one every, open?
Like one page adventure every day.
A day.
Oh my God, that is so great. I
And
love
you're not
that.
allowed to open them all at once like you do with a regular advent calendar.
Well, we only release one a day.
Right.
Yeah. Claude says daily hooks enter stat. Okay, yeah. I mean, that could be part of it too. Like there could be a stat block, and then I love this idea. That's great. But we'll be in December in a blink of the eye, but right now we're looking at the rest of this month. Great idea, David. That's a phenomenal idea. So we've got improv night, creating an adventure using only durian, and then on the 28th we've got
Where are we though?
So let's see. I'm trying to think of anything. March, or not quite. April showers bring May flowers. Go ahead.
Oh, I would love to get in like the sample combat because people have asked for that before.
Yes.
And I think we could have a lot of fun if we run a sample combat where no one is allowed to use the same action twice.
Ooh.
We could show a bunch of the different rules.
Yeah, Crystal, that does tie into when I put in my pitch idea too for combat actions, sort of like what they did on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that works. Those would work together really well.
Thursday being the other show that I produce / Owen Casey Stevens, the nicest man in the biz.
Mm-hmm.
We do that on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific. We're in the same places, but so this no one can use the same action twice. And I have a thought on that. Is it possible that we could invite someone who watches the stream to come and hang out with us and have fun?
I would not, because we're using it for like an adventure showcase. It's more of a framing device to explain what the different actions do.
There we go. So it would be less practical. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Who's fighting who though, and are we billing it like a prize fight? Is it like Steve versus Alex versus Crystal?
We could build a Circuit Maximus brawl.
I don't think we could run that in an hour, though.
That's true.
I love it.
Yeah,
all right.
I mean,
so
depending on how the dice play out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's some other ideas cooking around in here, and I want to
make sure. Corgi exhibition match.
Adapting adventures from other sources. Okay. For example, I once turned an old top secret adventure into a superhero game. Okay.
You can have to grab an adventure from a defunct company, but there's some great old Star Wars D6 adventures.
What if we went like old school and did something that wasn't Star Wars, but I don't know. Mother Goose keeps coming to mind, some fairy tale or something. But that's
that's another adaptation altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Well, we did do an adventure with the Green Man just recently.
That's right. What was that?
That was Green Thumb Black Heart.
It's a good adventure.
Who are you running and why is it?
Alex is not allowed to use Arctic Fox.
Jonesy, you can't call me out like that. My friends.
Let's see.
I think we could just back and forth between various villains, like one who's just a big brute powerhouse, one who's got a big power array, one who focuses on invisibility and subterfuge.
Yep.
Because there's
a Rubber Bandit's taunt ability.
Oh yes, and grabbing ability. Because dear lord, flexible characters with grab power.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's one of the few attacks not capped by power level limits.
It's true.
Owen Stevens just devastated one of my games with it.
I'd imagine. Let's see.
Owen's ability as a power gamer should not be underestimated.
No, I mean, we are all very lucky that Owen uses his powers for good.
For good, yes, indeed we are.
Aura says, I've been digging through 2E sources. Okay, so this has come up a couple times. I was going to mention it as a, because we're also going to talk a little bit about Patreon stuff. But, how, one of the ideas to kind of, back this as well is that, our Patreon patron mentioned that they thought that we could, what would we think about doing sort of a multiverse kind of thing? And I just wanted to get a sense of what you all thought about that. Like,
I'm going to need way more context to understand what you're asking.
that's right, because I just kind of rambled, and then because I was,
Right.
as I'm vamping to get to the actual comment, but
The
this
patron
was.
suggested we do a multiverse May.
So Great Destiny is the one that mentioned it, and it was a Multiverse May, a very popular concept in superhero comics and associated media is the idea of alternate universes. What better time to give it a focus in the month that Marvel Studios is releasing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? And they were thinking it'd be cool to have article stat blocks and maybe even M&M Monday that focuses on some of the other universes that are out there, expanding on the ones that we've already mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a Monday on May 2nd.
Yeah. We could do a multiversal May.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be a ton of fun.
I love it. All right. So is this what comes with a multiversal May?
I guess we could probably do Patreon stats for a bunch of our other dimensional characters like Paragons and Metaphor.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
And I think for that May 2nd at least, we'll look at some of the alternate Freedom Cities that exist, canonically already. We've got a fantasy version of Freedom City, and oh gosh, we've got the Paragons version of Freedom City.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, we could revisit some of the stuff from Worlds of Freedom and
Nice.
some of the older source books.
So then for the Mutants and Masterminds Monday, what do we want to what topic will that be? Will that be on the 2nd, or do we want to do a little bit of something throughout the month and kind of talk about it as more of a longer, sort of like like we did with Starhaven?
Well, I think the main question is what folks would be interested, apart from the articles, and source material talking about, the multiverse, what kind of discussion would people be interested in talking about the multiverse? Like, how do you create an alternate reality? How do you run an adventure there? What do you do with the multiverse once you've got it?
I wrote a topic about how to build PC variants, sort of like a Spider-Verse team up, or facing evil twins from another dimension.
Yeah, there could be a lot to talk about in terms of like, how do I run into the Spider-Verse, but not have everybody stepping on each other's toes because they all have the same powers?
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, and and of course the patron opportunity for interaction, and we can have some chats in that, and then for Mutants Masterminds Monday, what do we want to zero in on? Do we want to just make it literally every Monday we're talking about multiverse stuff?
I mean, we can break it down to like where the first one is. We talk about the different Freedom City universes that we've established, in first and second edition, and maybe the second Monday we talk about how we do like a Spider-Verse style. How you do a Spider-Verse campaign and make sure everybody feels unique and has fun.
Right.
We
could talk about similarly how to do, more of an Exiles, campaign where the characters are multiverse hopping.
So I'm looking at Great Destiny's comment, and they say pretty explicitly expanding on the ones that have been mentioned in published materials. So do we want to talk about the unspoken dimensions?
Do we have unspoken dimensions?
I mean,
there's one where nobody can speak.
We can bring them up, but it's not like there are secret dimensions we've been keeping hidden from everybody.
Well, there's the poo-poo dimension. We don't talk about that.
We don't go there.
We don't talk about that.
He makes one trip to the poo-poo dimension and he thinks he's an expert.
Right?
That's pretty shitty. Let's see. Okay, great. So I'm looking at yes. Go ahead.
Sean Vieira had a comment about a what if running what if games, or how good the what if series was, and what if we did a what if Mutants and Masterminds Monday.
I
It'd be cool.
love that.
Yeah, it'd be cool to come up with like what if scenarios for Earth Prime.
Or, how do you
Oh.
run a what if campaign?
Sure.
Yep.
And what's the hook? Yeah. How do you make it really stick? Like, what if everybody was a kitten?
Oh, no, you pick one point in your recent campaign history and tweak it, or some point
Right.
in your remote campaign history. Like,
So,
what if Centurion hadn't died to stop Omega?
Right?
Mhm.
We still
What would
have
the world be
Centurion
like?
around, but, he's exploded and he's, withdrawn and grumpy and, I mean, probably got a lot of PTSD.
Right.
Or Freedom League babies.
Oh,
All
the
right, I
Little
love that.
League.
Do we want to put that on the 16th of May?
Yeah, that's what I've got it down for.
Beautiful. Done and done. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing for sure, David. It says Cyberpunk Freedom City.
Mhm.
Let's see. Do-do-do-do.
Yep, that's one of the Worlds and Worlds of Freedom.
Yep.
I think we still actually have a few physical copies of it at the store if people want to check those out ahead
I
of
wouldn't be surprised. And it is available in PDF too.
That's right. Yeah. I'm certain our link wizard is rushing to the Googles, but
Jonesy
okay.
shared Worlds of Freedom in chat.
Hmm?
Jonesy already shared Worlds of Freedom in
A
chat.
link. Yeah.
Yep, there we go. See, he was on it before we even knew we needed to be. Yeah, I agree. What GM isn't into what ifery. Absolutely, yeah. Let's see.
Apuk had a suggestion as well, looks like.
Is that okay? Great, thank you, Apuk, for repeating that. I think I got lost in the but I would love to see a little less technical of a discussion on making roleplay focused storylines and using complications to further the narrative. Yeah, I like that. So would that be? Would it be more of like a kind of just sort of a role play stream, or sort of like getting you want us all to wear costumes? And I've been trying to get these three into capes and some lycra, but they just refuse.
I think he's more asking how do you encourage your players to role play and develop their personalities, because superhero comic books are basically soap operas.
Right.
That's right.
And,
yeah.
How to use their complications as story motivation or adventure hooks or things like that. Like there's a bunch of really good issues of comics out there where there's not really any beat 'em up action with the villains.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the player having drama.
Right. Yeah. We can call it the drama. The drama
Some of my favorite adventures I've ever ran. Nobody rolled any dice the whole time.
Yeah,
We
indeed.
just talked.
Okay, great. Well, so it looks like we've got some. Looks like we have some consensus. I like that.
Cool.
Want to do that the 18th of April?
Yeah.
Ooh, bonus to Claude for a deep lore dive on mentioning the if gate.
That's a deep cut.
Right?
No idea what that is.
And you said I don't know. Yeah.
It's the Atom family's portal to alternate dimensions in the nucleus.
Huh.
Let's see.
I think we've mentioned it maybe once.
So I'll call that, just off the top of my head, tell me if I'm off the mark here, but complications and character work in the
Yeah, and it is unfortunately one of those things where the GM has to do a lot of the heavy lifting, because we can't really give you adventures that spell out, kidnap the love interest and then, it ends in wedding.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what M&M Monday is all about. Filling in those gaps. Let's see.
Trying to.
Yeah. It's funny, honestly, you for me personally, as as a civilian, it wasn't until Crystal said that on stream that I was like, oh my God, it really is just it's billed as, just something, but it really is like the most dramatic, you know,
Troy,
kind
I
of.
have so many X-Men back issues to share with you.
You know what's funny? And I really look back on my collection of both X-Men and the New Mutants, and I mean,
Oh.
cheesy,
Yeah.
peasy. It was just like it was all the drama. But you know, just it's just funny how we package things up in a way to make it seem like, oh, it's but it's 100% a soap opera.
I think my favorite New Mutants storyline is the one where there's 4 guys who have a mutant power to become one guy. And it's never really explained why they would ever do this.
Right. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, it's just 4 guys who drive stunt motorcycles, and they turn into one guy who drives stunt motorcycles slightly better. And like they're not even related. There's no why.
That's a pretty regressive. Anyway, so here's something very interesting. I kind of snagged my mind a little bit just when I was thinking. I've been thinking in the same sort of space of like role play stuff. All my favorite game pitches in my lore docs would normally be the B plots in a TV show. I'd love to explore that into like what could that be kind of.
Well, that's actually B plot is a really good way of thinking of that sort of thing, and how you add it to the A plot of your adventure. Is really building in those various subplots that characters have.
I like that. So what would we call this? I'm looking at the 25th, by the way.
That's still sort of on the original topic of role playing and building up complications, things like that. So that's still mostly the 18th that we were talking about.
Yeah.
You think it's okay? So we'll be sure to cover that. Let me incorporate that just so we don't forget it. Talking about
that was Team America, Sean.
Okay, talking about the B storyline will be part of the complications and character work in M&M.
I think it's interesting that the 4 dudes turn into one, but the one dude doesn't think that he turns into 4 dudes. That's how I would frame it.
Right?
Who came first, the 4 dudes or the one dude?
I don't know. He vanished entirely from continuity after that. So
yeah,
probably for conversations like this. Like, what comes first? That like, okay, he just doesn't exist anymore.
Maybe he just started as one guy who figured out he could split himself into 4. Or when he hit puberty, he accidentally split into 4 and couldn't figure out how to come back together.
Right.
And the experience just kind of jarred him. They went 4 separate ways and then were drawn back together. Oh, I hate that I have made an explanation for this that makes me want to write it.
You win the no prize. You win the no prize.
And now it's like, oh, that's a compelling story.
There was
I gotta write my editor Marvel. I've got a pitch.
It was like, we have to be one. We have to be one. I'm the original.
No, it's me. No, it's me. No, it's none of you. It's Captain Planet, sort of. Let's see. The Dark Riders of Team USA had 4 times the stunt ability of any normal stunt bike rider.
Yes.
That's great. They're all in their 40s riding a BMX bike through the city.
Right.
I love
no, it's that character I was talking about earlier.
And the strange part about it is it's not even a unique mutant power, because the collective man is 5 guys who can all become one guy.
Squire Adams.
Who are also all mutants.
I hope Multiple Man picked on them in high school.
Right?
No, there was a Morlock too, who his whole superpower was he could grab people and like add their mass to himself as like a big, horrible, screaming blob man.
That's a much more disturbing version of that power.
That he really is. Okay, so now we are. So I put. We've got the 25th of April. We've got all of them.
Repress your homosexuality, people.
Right.
Hey, that's not what the X-Men taught me.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right.
What have I told you?
When that bald guy came by and said, "You are gays, sir, and I would like to take you to the special place where gays get trained to be elite," I was so excited.
Yes. Let me take you to my special school where I'll train you to beat up the gays who are less socially acceptable.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. The gays, we're awful too. Okay, so
Brotherhood of Evil gays.
We're just like you. We're awful too. Bully Madrox.
Oh, Billy Madrox is the multiple man.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Yes.
Bully
Gotcha.
Madrox would be his bully alter ego.
Right?
Played by Tobey Maguire in the movie.
No doubt.
Interesting. Okay, I get it. I see. Yeah, Sean's adding a little flavor. One character with four or five bodies each now looks differently after years of doing different things. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so here's what we got. We have been, interestingly enough, productive.
Yeah,
Got
right.
nothing for April 25th.
Nothing for the 25th, and we've also got the 23rd and 30th of May, and we got all of March. So
Have we talked about time travel on the channel?
Not since the Time Traveler's Codex released.
and we didn't really talk a lot about. I remember we did one show where we kind of talked about timelines and powers, and that was fun.
Let's do time travel as part of Multiversal May.
Yeah,
Right? That makes sense.
Yeah. So 23rd?
Sure.
That's
I
cool,
love
too.
it.
Still want my bank robbers on Velociraptors.
Right.
They're coming. They're in the notes.
Oh, you know what I'd like to talk about? If we're indulging my personal fantasies for April 25th, cosmic adventures and how you tie in Star Trek stuff.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
sure.
We don't talk about the Cosmic Handbook enough. And I would love to see how you do superheroes meet Star Trek, where you're tooling around the universe discovering new planets.
Yep, totally.
Claude, if I steal
it.
that word, I will give you credit, I promise.
We can bring our space platypus back for that.
Yes, we can talk about the Starjammers.
Yes.
I love it, and I'm going to write down
Our
because
friendly telepathic blob.
I'm going
Way
to.
better than the unfriendly telepathic blobs.
Right. Absolutely.
What did you say it was a what kind of platypus?
Oh, we have a
space platypus with a gun.
Space platypus. I love it.
obviously. What kind of platypi are you talking about, Troy?
I have not been really exposed to platypi in general, outside of they really are an odd animal.
We can remedy that.
Nice. Okay, so we'll remedy that on the 25th of April. Superheroes meet Star Trek. Let's see, and space platypus I put in there as well.
And Matthew Tyler wants us to add freedom zombies somewhere.
Freedom zombies.
You're gonna have to do that one without me.
Right.
I've got a very strict embargo on zombies.
On fleshy.
It's in my contract.
It's in your contract. Gotcha. I gotcha.
You can put that at the tail end of May if you want.
The timey-wimey zombie womby?
No, we're not doing time zombies.
No time zombies.
No time zombies.
Perry the space platypus. I like it.
Perry Platoon instead of Rocket Raccoon.
Hey, where's Space Perry?
Right.
Where is Space Perry?
He put on his hat. Now he's a little astronaut helmet. Now
See what we inspire. Rama Pet says, "Now my wife is singing. We don't talk about Star Trek."
No, we talk about Star Trek all the time.
Jonesy, don't run with an idea. I'll get in trouble for.
Nope, that's it. I quit. You're gonna have to tell Primus.
Nope.
It's all your fault, Troy.
Crystal's out, and you have ruined Mutants and Masterminds.
Wait, I think I have something that will heal all of us. Velociraptors.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Claude. Jonesy, you know what you've done. Okay, so we have got, I've added, so we've got the What If on the 16th. We have got the time travel. I'm looking in May, the time travel multiversal May episode. And then let me go back one.
You could do the Mummy Apocalypse for May 30th.
With Mommy Longlegs.
Mm-hmm.
We have a canon mommy villain.
No, Mummy, not Mommy.
Oh, so your mommy. When is Mother's Day?
Mid-May. It's like the second.
We're all wonderful children.
Second Sunday in May.
Right. I have a calendar. It's the 8th.
Oh, May 30th is Memorial Day. We have typically, in the couple
Yeah.
times we have come across that Monday, taken that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And the 8th is Mummy's Day, and that's when we're doing. Oh, we haven't picked anything yet. The reason why I skipped over is I wrote down Patreon stats for dimensional. I'm gonna put characters. That'll be stat blocks and things. I gotta make that a different color. So
Adultish backwards.
do we want to do villain mommies on the 9th
9th of what? May?
of May?
I thought that was our talking about multiverse player
Isn't that
characters.
our...
That is.
We,
Oh, you know what? So I put it down as I said Patreon stats for dimensional characters, but we can bring that to the Mutants
Patreon
Masterminds
stats
Monday
for
too.
dimensional characters.
So we can kind of double dip. I just kind of put this as a bookmark so that I would know that in May we want to have these multidimensional characters statted up for the Patreon, and then we'll just talk about it on Monday.
Yeah. Could
That's
do
good.
June for mummy characters.
Good.
I mean, we'd be missing Mother's Day, but
Mother's Day is every day.
if we if we want May to be multiversal May, we're going to have to decide: do we want to talk about players' needs, or do we want to talk about mothers? And the
Right.
very small overlap of multiversal mothers.
Yes, and mothers who are
Mhm.
players. Yeah, that's a tough one. What do you think, chat? Dimension.
Anybody?
Let's do Into the Spider-Verse, but just Aunt May's and Uncle Ben's.
Into the
Right.
Mommyverse. Into the Auntyverse?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. The Aunt May from Into the Spider-Verse,
Pretty great.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
I call her mommy
Right.
if she asks.
Okay, we're calling that the Motherverse. Okay, interesting.
I don't think Chad has any strong opinions, though.
They don't. Yeah, they're just being wiseacres.
They got real quiet and awkward when I talked about Aunt May.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was quiet and awkward. I think it was quiet and introspective because it was everyone agreed. Okay,
So Mother's Day adventure where Doc Holliday dresses up as Whistler's mother.
Right.
So, what do you think about this? Do we want to get into a, Owen and I have talked about this a lot because it's sort of resonates with Owen and sort of the how do you create the space that people feel good in or is evocative. I found that when we've talked about this kind of stuff in the past that it kind of gets a little thin.
What?
For like sort of setting the mood for your table, so integrating sound and music, and Roll20 of course has a lot of that stuff, and we have our friends over at Sirenscape that have put some a lot of work. They have actually done. We actually did an episode where we talked about sound and music, and we played. I believe we played Crystal as a what was it? A hobgoblin. No, it was
To hear Crystal's evil laugh.
That's right. And also Crystal as a shopkeep, which was my very favorite. I just play that for myself before I go to sleep at night. I love it.
The sinister cackling helps ease you to sleep.
It does. It just really does. It just really soothes my soul. A Mother's Day adventure. So we've almost got 3 months. We like to do this, in 3 months because it passes in a blink of the eye. So it looks like we're going to skip over the 30th of May. I have everything for April, it appears, and everything for March. So here's what I've got. So we've got the 14th, designing maps with Crystal, then the 21st, improv night, creating an adventure with prompts from the chat, and then we've got sample combat on the 28th.
Yep.
Now we're moving into April, which is the potentially Medri or Foch for the 4th. And then on the 11th, Sentinels of Earth Prime playthrough.
Ideally, sometime around June 6th, Danger Zones will be shipping. do we want to have
Mhm.
Sean McDonald on June 6th?
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, let me get over to that. That's awesome. And that is Sean.
McDonald?
I mean, if you want to add another Sean to this whole thing, I guess.
Right.
The
you
Sean
know,
will feel at home, though.
they will,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They've been asking for more Sean representation for years.
They've been asking for more Seans. I mean, it's just
Yep.
like, how many do you need, honestly?
Maybe the squadron of Seans.
Look, the Sean community has always been supportive of mutants and masterminds.
Mhm.
Right.
It's time we pay that forward.
Least
Oh,
we can do is
yeah.
increase the Sean representation.
So I didn't, I knew this, Claude. I did know this, but you're Gray Destiny, and so Gray was the one that had the idea for the multiversal May, which
Excellent.
I thought, yeah, that's great. The Sean conspiracy. Yeah. I'm sorry. What did we say the Seans were? A collection of Seans are a
nemesis.
Nemesis.
A nemesis of Sean's. Sure,
Mhm.
sure. Okay, so I've added that on to June. That would be June 6th. Perfect. And then so let's get back to. So
Okay.
we've got in April we've got
Art
this.
guest.
Yeah, the art guest, and then we've got Sentinels of Earth Prime, complications
Yep.
and character work in M&M for the 18th.
Mhm.
And then the 25th is Superheroes Meet Star Trek.
Yep.
Nice.
And then May is on the 2nd, we have different Freedom City universes discussion about that stuff. That'll be our multiversal May. We'll theme it. Then on the 9th, I've got extra dimensional characters. Is that quite capture? Okay, sweet. And then the 16th, I have what if the M&M universe in the M&M universe, and how you can do it too. Okay, and then on the 23rd, I have time travel in the multiversal May. Okay, and then the 30th, we're off. And then so we're kind of inching into June. We are running out of time. And so that means that we've got to get back together to talk about some Patreon stuff. There's some secret stuff there I want to talk about too that these folks shouldn't hear. But will the next play be Bite Clubs? Asks Gene. No, the next actual play is going to be Alex this Saturday. He'll be, and plenty of people are clamoring to be a part of this. So we're going to bring in 12 people. Is that right? 12 folks?
If you want to do that to me, you can do that to me, Troy.
Would that be
but it's
so
indicative
funny?
of our
I would
friendship.
never.
Don't do that, Troy.
I would never, but I want to. I really do.
I know.
I've done more. I can take up to 12 if you really want to hurt me.
That would be so funny. Like I should pull a little practical joke like that at some point. Just some kind of silly.
That's an
something.
impractical joke.
That's
Right.
an impractical joke.
It's a very impractical joke.
Absolutely. Well, so so Alex is got this weekend, Saturday. At what time are we doing it? That's at a time, time.
My time?
5 p.m. your time.
Yeah, I think it's 2 p.m. Pacific.
It
We
is a
need to
12
talk
hour
about-
shift.
Pacific.
Yeah. Patreon, or not Patreon, but for Mutants Masterminds Monday in June, we need to start thinking about Pride.
That's
We missed
right.
Pride entirely last year.
That's
We did.
right. That's right. We did have a Danger Zones Pride. If you've ever been to Pride, that is a danger zone too.
It can't be a danger zone.
So yeah, that's great. I'm gonna actually just make sure that I put that in there. And
Good time to talk about Fae.
yes.
Fairies in your Mutants and Masterminds game.
Right.
Because Danger
Fairies of
Zones
all
is bringing a
kinds.
bunch of new Fae to your Mutants and Masterminds game.
All right, thank you, Claude. 2 p.m. PST. And so then the other thing I was going to mention, hey, this coming Thursday evening is the third part, but second episode or second session of the Cthulhu Awakens stream, where I am a character. I'm playing Jason Whitting. I am I was Frank Nassa, but I changed it to be a real name. But it's very 90s. It's
Frank
very
isn't a real name.
it is my
Right.
it's my stage name. But yeah, so you tune into that, and that is in the evening. We will be doing. Oh, we're 1 hour earlier, so look for the update. I don't want to give you the wrong time, but it is so much fun. That is in support and education for our Kickstarter, 700% funded. That is something to be proud of. Six of the
800%.
we really want to,
right?
because that's where the magic. I mean, it's all magic, but the at that level, we're unlocking a 60s mystery or a 60s sort of thing.
I mean,
want
who
to
doesn't want a 60s Cthulhu adventure?
Come
I want a
on,
70s Cthulhu adventure.
I have to write it, so if we raise the money, it's me.
that's
Right?
right. That's right.
Who
It's like
doesn't
the
want
work's
to give
already done.
Alex more work?
Exactly. I'm glad
Lying
you.
around doing nothing.
Right. Exactly. Get him
Works in
all
a
the.
library. How much work could that be? Oh,
I
I have to
know.
go around shelves full of books.
Jeez, how tough! All these people who
Sometimes I
want
have
to
to teach kids how to
learn.
play Mutants and Masterminds.
I'm glad we're harvesting your organs soon. But Sean, thank you so much. Apu, thank you so much. We're having a lot of fun with that. Ian is phenomenal. The cast is just hilarious, but they're all very good at, like, they've done these things before. And while the next unlock is enemies and allies, the next the where we're headed. Yeah, what we really want to. I mean, this is great, and using enemies and allies and getting that as a bonus is
Super
part
useful.
of the very, very useful. You can populate your Cthulhu Awakens adventures, but we want that 60s adventure. So get us past it. We want to get there. But yeah, so I want to say thank you to everyone who hung out with us today. Really productive, a lot of fun. Of course, as always is the case, we have more work to do after a meeting like this, and we do have to get together, talk about the Patreon and all that, but we'll figure that out. Thank you, all three of you, for hanging out and for indulging this topic, and also for just being so willing to hang out and talk directly with fans. I think that is that's laudable. Do you
Thanks
have
to
anything?
the chat for making it one of our most productive planning meetings.
Agreed. It really has been, like, keeping us on task as well. I love it. Jonesy, Jonesy, you got your we're gonna talk about that right now. So real quick before we leave, Alex, what do you got? I'm gonna go with Crystal first in case you have to jump off. Crystal, anything you want to talk about? Any remarkable, amazing thing? Did you get another award? Are you going for the EGOT? Like, what's going on?
I do want to say there's a big funding drive right now over on itch.io to support trans rights in Texas. I don't know if you're aware of the news, but recently Greg Abbott has sicked family services on any family with a transgender child they're supporting, which is just sick. Stealing children from loving families to buy hateful votes. It is god awful, and so please donate. Get a bunch of cool little mini niche interest RPGs in the process.
And this is is really something. I mean, basically, Abbott is calling on people to just on the street to sort of,
to snitch on people, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like $5 for like 400 RPG things.
It's a
crazy.
really bundle.
That's right. That's why
Thirsty
you should
Sword
give 50.
Lesbians
And
is in there.
What was that?
Oh, Thirsty Sword Lesbians is in there.
Yeah, a Green Ronin
Worth
favorite.
the price of admission alone.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up, and absolutely. And I've got the link is in chat. But yeah, this is it's unconscionable. It is, that's we gotta take care of that. Sean Vieira says, nice. Sean Vieira says, I picked up that bundle.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, like even if you only end up liking 1 or 2 RPGs out of it, you've still gotten, 2 RPGs you like for $5.
Right. And we're still. So I do want to say now. Jonesy mentions Omega Flight TPB.
Trade paperback.
Trade paperback.
Oh, that's right. That's
The big
right.
collected version of the comic I wrote for Marvel, which they didn't tell me that was happening. So
Nice. Thank you, Squire.
news to me.
Squire says
Right.
it is button.
Oh,
Nice. Thank you,
thank you.
everybody.
Thanks all.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Crystal, for bringing that up. I'm glad we covered that.
Yeah.
Alex, do you have anything else you want to share, Crystal?
Nope.
Okay. Alex, what do you got cooking?
Come see the finale in Netherworld tonight if you want to see the Mega Master Mage Megazord fight Una, Queen of the Netherworld. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wednesday, we are doing our Cthulhu Awakens actual play over at twitch.tv/Untold Stories Project. And please sign up for the actual play this Saturday so I have plenty of meat to grind in the grinder.
Oh my goodness, yeah. They're signing, and believe me, we're having a little bit of a wrestling match over it. So we'll see. We'll get the bruised meat to the show. Gross. This sounds disgusting. But now, Alex, you've also got something. You have other news that is timely. You you have got some things going on at some conventions coming up, so people should be aware of that. Like, you know, you got some actual plays. You'll be GMing.
So I will be running events both at Origins and Gen Con this year. And I'm one of the special guests for the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo in October.
Oh, congratulations.
Nice,
Thanks.
nice. So what
It's
does that
weird.
mean? What does that mean? Will you like wear one of the one of those like big furs and a crown and be on a palanquin?
I probably have to provide all that for myself.
Okay,
but,
we can work on it.
I am going to run 2 Mutants and Masterminds games and lead a panel about superhero RPGs. So if
And
you're
you
in the
can use
Pittsburgh
the green
area,
rodent one too.
oh
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah, we can get it out. Yeah, it's
good.
really nice. There might be some cheese hidden away in some of the compartments, but you know, it's probably still good.
Yeah. Well, you know.
It's aged.
Well, it's not a Green Ronin event if there's not cheese hidden somewhere.
Nice.
Pretty much.
Javier says, "I know where I'm headed." ECCC.
Yeah, I need to
Emerald
apply
City
for my
Comic
pro
Con.
badge.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, are you in our neck of the woods in the Pacific Northwest? But yeah, I'm not sure. Crystal, do you know if are you going to go to ECCC?
I don't know right now. I'm applying for my pro badge. So
Everybody gets a pro badge. You will get a pro badge. I mean, that's when we really will have to get out the
Being a comic
palanquin.
book pro, you would think so.
but
Exactly.
I know Oni's going to be there, so if I can't get a pro badge, I know I can at least get a 1-day, visitor's badge to
If
do a
you
signing.
can't get a pro badge, I'm going to tear that place apart brick by brick until I find it and get it for you.
What I need to do is make some pins and get a booth in Artist Alley, sell some books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
Love
goodness.
it. Okay, awesome, Claude. That's great. We should chat. We've talked about doing some kind of meetups or actual plays in the real, but we'll leave that for another time. Okay, so this is just a quick. I know that we are at 3:11, and I apologize. But there's this question of what comics did she write for Marvel?
I wrote I wrote half of a small miniseries called Gamma Flight, and I wrote one story in Marvel Voices, which is a small anthology series Marvel does.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yep. So check those out. I'm certain Link Wizard is going to Link Wizardry use some links here in a moment. But Steve, what do you got cooking? What's going on?
I don't have a whole lot to add. Crystal kind of covered the thing I wanted to highlight, so I'm good with wrapping us up 13 minutes late.
That's right. I know. I will say this though. One of the things that's excruciating about this business is that there's so much going on, but we can't talk about a thing. Not even one thing. I'm so excited for people to Yeah. And I hear you, Apook. Absolutely. We are, of course, devastated by what's happening in Ukraine. I've spent personal time in the country and have friends that I cannot find. It is definitely our heart and our just all. It's unspeakable. But absolutely, all of our love, and we are talking about things that we can do in our way to help, because Green Ronin is really committed to charity and to being a resource for people, and it's a rough one for sure. Okay, so let's see. Babidi, you check that out. Babidi. Babidi? Babidi. 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 You check.
Oh no, Troy's stuck a loop.
Oh my gosh. Check the chat for a link to Crystal's work. And I've got to get off the stream because this is just going to all the crazy places. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Be kind, be fun, be friendly, and, be the person that brings a new player to enjoy Mutants and Masterminds and show them why it's such a blast because it is really, truly. And thank you for all your support. Make sure that wherever you are liking, loving, tickle the bell, do whatever, smash it, grab it, do whatever, but just do it so that we know that you're out there. Lots of great conversations happening on YouTube. Thank you for that. And we will see you all this coming Thursday for Thursdage with Owen Casey Stevens, the nicest guy in the industry, and myself, the disembodied. And with that, thank you, friends. Bye-bye.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.